Hi, it's David Alberts here, founder of BeenThereDoneThat, and we're the next in our series of DoneThat Where Next, where we talk to interesting people from the industry about where they see the world going next. And today, I am incredibly excited because we are talking with Samantha Maltin from Sesame Workshop. I have 6 kids. I have been singing the Elmo song now for about 28 years. So this for me is kind of a highlight of my can anyway. So first of all, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's okay. And Sesame, as Hallie said, the question is, can you tell me, how did you get to Sesame Street?
How did I get to Sesame Street? Well, I've been wanting to come to Sesame Street for a long time, probably my whole life.
Yeah.
I have always worked in media and entertainment at the intersection of building brands and monetizing brands, but the things that really energized me were always the social impact work and an opportunity to have impact at scale at a place like Sesame Workshop that I've always thought was the gold standard in early learning and education. That's what brought me here.
Fantastic. It was always so ahead of its time and has kind of set the groundwork where the rest of the world talks about going. Yeah, so I think it's amazing. So you asked a couple of questions today, and the first question I wanted to ask about was, what's the biggest problem that you're facing in your world or the company's world today?
Our biggest problem is that most people know Sesame Street.
Yeah.
They know the show, maybe they know the Tickle Me Elmo dolls,
Yeah.
as you said. But what people don't know is that Sesame Workshop is a global impact nonprofit, helping children grow smarter, stronger, and kinder. We work at the intersection of education, media, and research to empower the next generation to build a better world. And we're always focused on the most pressing needs for children and parents today. So it's really important for us to get the word out that we are a mission-driven nonprofit in need of support.
Yeah, so I love that. Our mission is to harness the world's best thinkers to make the world tackle the biggest, toughest problems. And I think we all get to a stage where we want to use our skill sets to make a difference. And I know we both work with Ad Council, which is great. And how do you first of all decide when you're going through where to focus? Do you do it like in a campaign way, or just how are you deciding, and what's the focus at the moment?
Yes, everything we do is grounded in rigorous research. We don't get out of bed without asking a preschooler or their parent what they think.
Yeah.
And we need to stay on top of the most pressing needs. So right now, that need is emotional well-being.
Yeah.
The Academy of Pediatric, many world organizations who focus on early childhood have determined that there is a mental health crisis during the global pandemic. So we know as Sesame Workshop that we have an obligation and an opportunity to really address how to help parents and caregivers learn about their emotions, recognize either the most serious mental health challenges or help children celebrate everyday moments. Yeah. Learn how to belly breathe. Yeah. Learn how to make a glitter jar. I'm sure you've made some of these with your 6 children.
Glitter jar has scattered my kitchen. So, but tell me the problem you've had of the perception of being a not-for-profit organisation, and where does that become a challenge? Where does it become a barrier that you need to overcome?
Yeah, I think the biggest barrier is that people are not investing in early childhood education. Yesterday was World Refugee Day. Yeah. This always blows my mind. 2% of humanitarian aid goes to early childhood education. 2%. If we could just double that. Yeah. And there is a business case for investing in early childhood education. Yeah. There is a Nobel Prize-winning economist, Heckman, who has shown that for every dollar invested in early childhood learning, it results in $9 of economic benefits to society. So it's so important. And I look around here and I think about the brands and the services and everyone who is in Cannes. putting purpose at the center of their work. Like, how can we all make a difference in the world?
And how do you want a brand to engage with you? So if I'm sitting here and I have a brand and I go, I love Sesame Street, my kids love Sesame Street, how would you like them to engage with you?
Yeah, first of all, everything we do relies on partnerships,
Yeah.
whether that's to distribute our content through broadcast partners, digital partners. YouTube is a huge partner of ours because most children in the US watch Sesame Street on YouTube, or whether that's working with NGOs like International Rescue Committee to do the work that we do with children and families in communities around the world. Everything we do is rely on partnerships. The other thing that we need is to stay at the forefront of culture.
Yeah.
And that is where partners come in to help us have a platform to get our message out that we are a nonprofit in need of support. So my favorite example, and I think what I look for in places like Cannes when we're talking to partners, a couple of years ago we worked with DoorDash, my friend Kofi there, and they gave us an opportunity to have a Super Bowl spot. As a nonprofit, I would never have the kind of budget, $8 million to create a Super Bowl, but they worked with us to recreate The People in Your Neighborhood, which is, an iconic moment on Sesame Street, People in Your Neighborhood, the opening. And the best part is that they offered for every dollar, $1 goes to Sesame Workshop for every order, which was an incredible platform. 100 million people in the US. To be able to get that message out, that is really powerful for us.
He is a visionary. Kofi, I always call him the king of fantastic ideas. That's a kind of an acronym for Kofi.
And he wants to do good in the world.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's so funny that to hear that example is sometimes I think brands are trying to do it themselves but don't realise that they can use their power and their spend and of actually helping organisations that are doing it already. That's the partnership bit, isn't it?
Yes.
So if you could imagine, all right, let's do a bit of strategic imagination here. Where would you like it to go? Where can you see that could really work?
Yeah, there really is so much potential and promise when we invest in reaching young children.
Yeah.
Reaching them in their earliest years.
Right.
Children 0 to 5,
Yeah.
we know we can have the greatest impact. We have the brain science that backs that up.
Yeah.
It's also the time that they are the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
And need the caring of parent or caregiver, that positive relationship.
Yeah.
So I think having more people understand that, getting the word out about investing in early childhood education and any ways to support that is really where we're focused. We just launched an emotional well-being initiative, which is a huge part of making sure that a child is set up for success and to thrive. We launched with our partner Ad Council in May as part of our initiative PSAs that use our Muppets, Elmo and friends, to model how to talk to your children about their emotions, how to check in on young children, because recognizing that a child is in need when they're so young, sometimes you can't notice that. It just comes out like behavioral issues. So it's so important. It's where we're focused. It's where we're focused for the fall. We have a suite of content and resources for parents and children. If you go to sesameworkshop.org, you can see videos, activity books, all the things that parents need to be able to help them talk with their children.
Amazing. Well, there's a fantastic series, I don't know if you ever saw, called 7 Up. And they followed these children every 7 years, 7 to 14, all the way now to about 60 now, 63. My maths from Sesame Street says that. That's a 7 number. But the line of it was, show me the boy at 7 and I'll show you the man. And I think that those early years to shape kids then can give them the confidence and everything to go on, which we need a lot right now. So my final question, what's the first step that people can take besides contacting you guys, which I think is a very good step, but what's the first step that we need to get to go on that journey?
Yes, I think the first step is putting purpose at the center of your business. For us, that purpose is very clear. We are empowering each generation to build a better world. I think that I've seen purpose be thrown around as a buzzword last year, And this year, I'm really seeing brands not only think about how they're building in sustainability into their operating chain, but what are they doing to build a better world? What are they doing to leave society in a better place?
That's that legacy or that concept of be good ancestors is just so true. And I think some of the things we spend a lot of time talking to people about is how to strategically engage with you so that there's a mutual benefit partnership. That it's and how, you know, going back to my Sesame Street experience, the thing that the most was the visualizing community, and how can brands be not trying to control a community, but actually play a valuable role in community and participate that. This is great. I think it's very much about, in a world that we need to change things and do things in a different way, you provide us with such a, not just education and example, but a vehicle in which we can all try and help everyone. So thank you for everything you do.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.